We're trying to integrate different pools of information to figure out what drugs work and which ones don't. I'm Cade Christensen. I'm a software engineer and bioinformatician here at SAMRI, working in the neurophysiology labs, trying to utilize machine learning to predict treatments for Parkinson's disease and childhood dementia. One of the key issues that we deal with is that we have information from different domains, whether it be high content cell imaging or electrophysiology data, but there isn't a great way to pull them together and compare them. And so what we try to do is through like data analysis and machine learning, create models of how these cells interact with the disease or with the treatments that we give it. And so that's the unique task that we have to tackle. When you generally run experiments, you have like a biased look, maybe like, again, if you're pulling out like 10 metrics of a cell at a given time point, or sorry, not even 10, but like you have 100 that you could pull. You have some sort of bias in which ones you look at, which ones may be more interesting to you, have been more interesting to you in the past. But when you take something like machine learning, you can use a larger pool of data and more systematically narrow down on the most important pieces. So it's less biased, but you could also see how different features, although they're not like statistically significant, like interact with each other to give a compounded effect. And so these are all things you wouldn't necessarily see if you were just looking at each feature individually or each data piece. I do have a basic science background, but then I spent about 4 years as an intelligence officer, which you would think is quite different. The similarity between being an intelligence officer and what I do now is that one is you get information from various different pools. I think to be a good intelligence officer, you not only need to try to predict the future, but also identify when your hypothesis is heading towards a wrong direction, where it's a false positive. So to me, it was very natural to transition because I'm trying to figure out what's actually happening, but also to be a good scientist, you should also try to think why that's not the case and why something else is afoot. I've had family members with Alzheimer's disease, so it's wanting to figure out a way to like create cures and then do it in the best way that you're able to do it, right? Like I think I'm pretty good at software engineering, whereas I don't necessarily enjoy pipetting in a lab. So I'm trying to contribute in the way that I'm best able to do. You have a very clear mission. You're working with people who are very capable and motivated. And it makes you want to like give even more time to it. And it's fun to be with people who are trying to push the limits, that don't just want to like clock in a 9 to 5, but they want to go the extra mile. When you work with people who have expertise in various fields, it means that you also need to be like a contributor at the same level, I guess. And I just enjoy being part of like a high performing team because it just makes you want to achieve a even higher goal and you want to be a part of that.